Saturday afternoon, it's NTV Chief Meteorologist Eddie Shear, now about 2:45 p.m. I know yesterday I told a lot of you on, I think, the NTV Evening News Hour and on my social feeds that if there was a weather update needed over the weekend, I would do that, and it looks like there is because I still think snow is on the way for our Sunday afternoon and Sunday night across a good chunk of southern and eastern Newfoundland, including the Avalon, including the St. John's metro region. So here I am giving you the update today. Now, I'm more confident today that the snow will actually happen, unlike what happened Thursday night into Friday morning, and I'll go into a quick little breakdown as to what happened Thursday night into Friday. So essentially, when lows form out in this area here, which they did Thursday night, there's not a lot of data in here. So when you get an area where there's not a lot of data, you can get these small changes in the atmosphere, which can result in small changes as well that happen downstream once these storms or lows get organized. So what happened was our low formed more than likely a little farther east than it was forecast to, and thus attracted a little farther east and south than it was forecast to, which kept the bulk of the snow just to the southeast of the Avalon Peninsula, then right over the Avalon Peninsula. So that's kind of what happened Thursday night into Friday. What we're watching right now is a storm system or an area of low pressure coming out of the Great Lakes, coming off of the northeastern U.S. and about to work into portions of Ontario. Weather makers that are in here are generally pretty well modeled because there is a lot of data in this area. So as the low does move to the east, it should be in line with what many computer models are forecasting. So right now we're seeing this area of low pressure over Michigan, and this is working its way to the east, and it will do so as we go into the overnight period. As we take a look at the radar imagery, we can see this is just showing precipitation intensity, not so much in the form of rain or snow. But there is a fair bit of moisture with this, and it's tracking to the northeast right now, but it will eventually move its way to the east, and the precipitation will begin to arrive in Newfoundland. Well, making some of you sick, I guess, with this map here. Let's see if I can do that. It will begin to arrive in Newfoundland. Looks like late tomorrow morning, early in the afternoon, and most of this will fall in the form of snow. So as we take a look at this RGEM model, it'll time things out for us as we go throughout tonight. Things are pretty quiet. It looks like snow doesn't really begin to move on to the southwest coast until about 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then it begins to work to the east from there, working on to the Burin Peninsula by about midday, and looks like it arrives on the Avalon by 1, 2 o'clock. The heaviest snow tomorrow is going to fall across the southern third of Newfoundland from basically the Avalon Peninsula, almost if you draw like a straight line from the Avalon right to about south of the Port Peninsula. This is where the heaviest snow is going to fall as we go throughout Sunday into Sunday night. And this forecast now valid at 3:30 in the afternoon. You can see the time right there. The blue is the indicated heavier snowfall rates. And perhaps tomorrow evening, 4 or 5 o'clock, we may start to see some of that snow mixing with rain on the Burin Peninsula and southern parts of the Avalon, but it does look like the northern half of the Avalon and much of Newfoundland, once you get away from those southern shorelines, should see predominantly snow, which may very well linger into Monday morning. This is 8:30 Monday morning, still seeing some light snowfall across the island. And as we go throughout Monday, we begin to see things warming up a little bit in advance of another area of low pressure, which moves in on Tuesday. And we'll talk more about this tomorrow or Monday. This looks to be more of a rain-snow mess maker across Newfoundland, a snowmaker for Labrador, and it will also produce some very strong winds wherever the low tracks. And there are some pretty big discrepancies in where the low is going to track, which would result in some pretty big forecast differences Tuesday into Wednesday, but we'll worry about that down the line. What I'm more concerned about right now is essentially the forecast for tomorrow into Monday. Now here is the RGEM's snowfall forecast, and it's kind of in line with what I was thinking as we go back to yesterday. Basically on a line from just south of the Port Peninsula to north of the south coast and right around Clarenville, including the Avalon. This swath sees 10 to 15 centimeters. Areas to the south on the Burin Peninsula and southern parts of the Avalon may see a little bit less because there could be some rain mixing in these areas. But as you go farther north and inland a bit, we shouldn't be contending with a whole lot in the way of rain. So that's certainly a good thing. As we head farther north, we're looking at lower snowfall amounts, 5-10 centimeters for much of central. Northern Peninsula traced to 5, and same thing for Churchill Falls. And as we get back toward Labrador City and Wabush. And sometimes you're looking for what am I looking for? Consistency in the computer modeling. And this is the European models forecast for that time frame from Sunday into Monday. And again, showing the same kind of thing, 10, 15 centimeters, which is what you're seeing there in purple. Maybe a little more for the higher terrain of the Avalon. And this develops tomorrow midday, ends, it looks like Monday morning, and then we begin to see the next weather maker coming in, which could be quite significant. We'll talk about that really quickly if this will pull up for us. It looks like it will. So as we go into Tuesday, we're going to see an area of low pressure track, looks like to the southeast of the Avalon. So actually, the newer guidance is coming in weaker and farther south, which means more snow, less rain for Newfoundland, but it still looks like the potential for rain on the Avalon. That would be Tuesday into Wednesday. So we'll get into the Tuesday, Wednesday thing later on. What I'm concerned with now is really tomorrow into Monday and the amount of snow we're going to see, which again, looks like it's going to be on the order of 10 to 15 centimeters for much of the southern third of Newfoundland. And again, unlike the Thursday, Friday system, this is coming from an area that has a lot of data, so the forecast should work out. I'm a little more confident in this working out than I was the last one. That being said, we'll have to wait and find out, but I'll pass along more updates as needed. But I hope this was informative. I hope you have a lovely Saturday, and I hope you're safe. Be safe. Be kind, and have a great weekend, and I'll pass along updates as needed over the next couple of days.